Good morning, this is Mike Houston with your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Tuesday morning. Looking at our key points this morning, a little fog hanging around the area this morning. Otherwise, we are focused on the next storm system that will sweep through the region late tonight and Wednesday. We'll see relatively dry conditions following that passing storm system until about Saturday when the next storm system works into the region, and we got a big question mark on that one. So we'll take a look at that as we get into the forecast charts here. Looking at satellite imagery this morning, we have some low clouds positioned across southeast Idaho this morning with some high clouds spilling into the region over the top of this ridge here. Not expecting a whole lot of weather out of that, maybe some light flurries when those two cloud masses interact with each other today. But other than that, not expecting much in the way of accumulations. Looking a little further out into the Pacific, we see the next storm system wrapping up off the northwest coast. That'll ride up over the top of the ridge late tonight and crash into southeast Idaho during the day on Wednesday, bringing a quick shot of snowfall and windy conditions across the region. Looking at our weather risk outlook, kind of highlighting that moderate risk of snow and blowing snow across the region here, particularly for our southern and eastern mountain regions. And in the remaining areas, the snow should be fairly light, but we will see breezy conditions throughout the region. Advancing to our weather slides, I'm looking at storm track here for today, basically highlighting the fact that we have a ridge across the region here with our next storm system here off the coast that I was just pointing out on satellite imagery. So we'll have a little bit of high clouds kind of spilling over the area into the region today. Not much in the way of any type of weather concerns, at least for today. As we work our way into the day tomorrow, that storm system that was off the coast works over the top of the ridge and shears through the region here, and that'll produce a fairly decent shot of moisture across the region. We do expect to see the leading edge of precipitation working into the central mountains maybe as early as 8 p.m. this evening associated with that system. And maybe some light snow, as I mentioned previously, with some of that overrunning moisture in the Snake Plain. But really we're not expecting to see the impacts of precipitation till a little later. Here we are looking at 11 p.m., probably start to see some impacts for accumulating snow up in the Island Park region. And then by the time we get to 6 a.m. in the morning, when the surface front begins to work through the region, we'll start to see snow beginning to, or precipitation beginning to sweep into the region, the Snake Plains and Eastern Magic Valley and the Southeast Highlands here from 6 a.m. on. High temperatures on Wednesday, generally expected to be in the 20s most areas. We get over towards Burley here, maybe 36. Twin Falls 39, so that may be a mix of rain and snow over in that region. As I mentioned, it should be very windy following the cold frontal passage Wednesday morning. Here we are looking at wind gusts generally running into the 30 to 40 mile an hour range across a broad area of southeast Idaho, and you can see some higher gusts upwards of 50 or higher in some of these mountainous areas here across the central and southeast highlands. Expected snowfall amounts during this storm system generally looking like they're going to be somewhere near advisory or the lower end of advisory levels here across the eastern mountains and the Sawtooth region, where we're seeing accumulations generally in the 4 to 5 inch range in some of these higher peaks. Some of the areas, especially across the Sawtooths and over here towards the Tetons, could get up near 10 inches, but pretty isolated in the aerial coverage on that. That's what we're forecasting right now. If things were to get sideways on us, you could see a broader area of these 4 to 8 inch accumulations here across the central mountains and eastern mountains, and then maybe some accumulations here from Rexburg south through Blackfoot, generally from Blackfoot and further south, less than half an inch, but you might be able to see some accumulation in Idaho Falls and Rexburg if things were to overachieve for us. Certainly mixed with that will be wind, and so we'll be looking at the potential for some outgoing highlights on the afternoon shift today, primarily in some of these mountainous areas for snow and blowing snow. So stay tuned on that. As we advance to Thursday, that storm system is shifting east of the region, and we got a high-pressure ridge building in across the region, so that'll bring us some cooler temperatures into the area. Here we are looking at daytime highs on Thursday, only getting into the teens here across INL and Mud Lake, and maybe down into the lower 30s here in the Burley area. By the time Saturday rolls around, the next storm system is beginning to work into the region. The models are showing a splitting trough, and some of the more extreme models are showing a quite abrupt split, which would really mean little or no precipitation for us if that were to occur. And on the flip side, we do have a couple of models that are indicating a fairly consolidated trough moving through the region, which might bring us some accumulating snowfall. We're going to have to wait to see how that shakes out with the model runs here in the next couple days, but we'll continue to watch that. So just keep it posted that we might be seeing some snow here on Saturday. Temperatures on Saturday generally in the mid-20s to lower 30s across the region. And to summarize, we're expecting some areas of fog this morning. Otherwise, the next storm system sweeps into the region late tonight and Wednesday, which will bring a quick shot of snow and some fairly strong winds across the region. Looks like we'll be dry until about Saturday, and then a big question mark on the day Saturday as that next storm system migrates through the region. Could be dry. We could have some snowfall with that. That's all I had for you here this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can reach out to us on these platforms that are listed here on the screen. Thank you.